Today, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting radical expressions. And in order to kind of segue into this and understand today's concept, I want to review combining like terms. Now remember, like terms are terms that can be combined. So in this expression, 4x squared plus 3x minus 5x, there are two terms that can be combined. And that would be the positive 3x and what I like to consider a negative 5x. Now I can combine those two because really it's like saying, well, how many x's do I have here total? 3x plus negative 5x leaves me with negative 2x. So the simplified expression here would be 4x to the second plus negative 2x or minus 2x. Now that would be simplified and I can't do anything else with that. There are no other x squared terms, okay? So remember, when you're adding or subtracting, you can only combine terms that are like. If you're multiplying or dividing, everything is fair game. You can multiply or divide any two things together that you want to. But when adding or subtracting, that's where you have to follow the like term rules. So these same rules apply when you're looking at radicals. So here we have examples of like radicals and unlike radicals. Okay, so you'll notice that the like radicals have radicals or square roots that match. Okay, so we're looking for that pattern again. So looking at some examples here, we can add or subtract based on whether or not we have like radicals or not. So for instance, in A, I have 3 square root 7 plus 8 square root 7. That means, or I could ask myself the question, how many square root 7s do I have? Well, I have 11 of them. So 11 square root 7 would be the simplified version of that. So I just take the 3 and the 8. It's like adding coefficients. B, I have 9 times the square root of y minus 1 times the square root of y. So subtracting, I'm left with 8 square root of y. Okay. So pretty basic. You'll see for number C, it's been a long day. Letter C, 12 square root of 2 minus 4 square root of 11. I can't do anything with that because those are not like radicals. Okay? I could get decimal answers for sure, as we could with all of these except for B and D. But we could get decimal answers for these two. We're working just through the simplification process. For D, I can combine this and this together. So negative 8 plus 10, that's negative 2. And then plus 6, just like that, because that doesn't have anything compared with it. Alright, so it gets a little trickier on this last slide here, but not too bad. So these are roots that can be simplified, and then we can check to see if they can be added together. So for instance, I can break down the square root of 12 into 2 square root of 3, okay, since I know the square root of 4. And I can also do 27 here. I know that's the square root of 9 times the square root of 3. So really, I have 3 square root of 3, since I know the square root of that is 3. Alright, so now these can actually be simplified and combined together. 2 square root of 3 plus 3 square root of 3 gives me 5 square root of 3. Same with B here. This can be simplified a little bit further. First, let's look at 45. I'm going to go square root of 9 times square root of 5. Well, I know the square root of 9, that's 3. So really, this is 3 times the square root of 5. And you're noticing maybe that with 3 square root of 8, that maybe there is no partner there. That might be possible, or that might be the case. So let's just check square root of 4, square root of 2. Well, I do know the square root of this is 2, which would be 2 times 3 up here. 6 square root of 2 plus that. Doesn't look like I can combine anything there though, but you can always check just to make sure. Alright. Letter C. Move this down here. 5 times the square root of 28x. Let's see if we can simplify that. X has to stay inside, but I can split this up into 28 times these two things don't have a partner, so they stay inside the square root. But I do know the square root of 4 is 2, so I'm going to take 2 times 5 outside. That's 10 times the square root of 7x minus 8 times the square root of 7x. And if we combine those, I take 10 minus 8, I get 2. Just like that. Alright. And lastly, we could do that with letter D. Split all these up into something. I think what I'll do though is cover that one tomorrow in class, as the video is going a little bit longer. So I will stop here and we'll talk about the rest tomorrow.